So last week I shared a video about how to have a big Christmas on a small budget. This is kind of going to go along with that, where we're going to get specific about things that you could buy that would make really great gifts. And they can be cheap. Now, most of these books, I would say probably 99%, maybe all of them, were used books. We either got them at a thrift store, some of them we got at thriftbooks.com. I know there's other online websites where you can buy books for cheap, but thrift stores are awesome. What I like to do for Christmas, you can buy all kinds of books at the thrift store for like nothing, but if you want to make sure these are good quality books and you're not giving a friend or a child a book with a bunch of like profanity in it or bad content or things like that, you're gonna wanna have at least some authors. That's one thing we like to do, is we have authors that we know and recognize, and we are like, okay, maybe I haven't seen that book, but I know that author's a good, clean author. She writes good content, Christian content, whatever. Or we have a list of specific books. So my kids, if they have a couple books that they're actually looking for, I'll write it down on my list so I know what to look for. So that's why I thought this would be helpful. So your two options are, check out this list, whatever sounds good. You can write it down and go shopping, and hunt and have fun looking at the thrift stores, your library book sales. Sometimes you can find them there too for like, what is ours right now? Fill a bag for $1, I think, which is awesome. I don't know if your library does that, but ours does. Your other option would be, if you're not like that, I'm gonna link all these books in the description box below, so you can just click on Amazon and buy it if you want to do it that way, or you can look it up on thriftbooks.com. But I will have them all linked in case you guys want to just order whatever these books are, but they're good. They're ones that either I love or my daughter loves, or I asked my other two daughters too what their favorites were. So let's get into some specifics, okay? Our chairs are really squeaky, so if you hear this a lot, sorry. Yard sale find, right? But they're cute. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to start off with my favorite books, and my daughter and I are both in this category. So this would be good for books either for yourself, if you buy yourself Christmas presents, for maybe your husband, if he likes to read, if you have these would be like a teen, 13 and up maybe for some of these. Not because it's bad content, but some of them are like murder mysteries and things like that. So the first one I'm going to put here is my favorite of all time, and you haven't read it yet, have you? Oh my word, she's got to read this. So the first one is the If I Run series by Terri Blackstock, and this is so good, and I read the whole series. Super good, edge of your seat, murder mystery, but it's like a little spoiler alert here. You kind of left on a cliffhanger from one book to the other, but not in an annoying way, in a like, I've got to read the next book to see what happens. So love this book series. You have to read it. I might assign it in school if she doesn't read it on her own. It's really good. Okay, second one, I just recently discovered this. Now her and I used to do these, it's been a while since we've done one of these what I read this month or whatever videos, because life's been crazy and busy. So some of the new reads that we've read either this summer or in the last couple months we're gonna be talking about here. So one that I just finished last week, it was so good. She told me about this author, and this was Lynette Eason. And have you guys ever read Lynette Eason? Okay. I think I almost like her more than Terri Blackstock. I don't know. She's so good. She had told me, it's like, you got to read a Lynette Eason book. You've read a handful, right? Yeah. She's like, it's edge of your seat. It starts right away, right off the bat. It's like bam, 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 bam. And that's what we like. So we like intense stuff, right? So Christian. This is a Christian book, but a murder mystery. It's called Life Flight, was the one I just read. But she has, I don't know how many books. She has a ton. So I think you're safe to read any Lynette Eason books. This was so good from the first page, from really the second paragraph or something. It hooked you, and it was really intense. From there all the way to the end, I told her when I finished it, the last like chapter was still like, oh my goodness, so much was happening, and it was very stressful. So if you like that kind of book, hers are good, and they're always like that. Oh yeah. It was so good. So what's one of your favorites? Or a couple favorites of Lynette Eason?
The one I just read was really good. It's called Oath of Honor.
Okay.
And that was probably one of my favorites.
Really stressful, intense. And is it a murder mystery also?
Yes.
All of them are murder mysteries. So super good. So check her out. So the next one, we're switching gears a little bit. This is a fantasy book. This is called Blade of Ash by C.F.E. Black. And this is like a dark magic fantasy book, right? Yeah. And this was really good. Very different from anything I ever read. Like, you read fantasy more than me, probably.
More, but not a lot.
Okay. But it was really good. One thing that I thought was really cool about this was the woman is the protector in here, and you don't see that a lot in books. A lot of times it's the man who's the protector, protecting the woman, you know. It's the other way around here. So what was one thing you really liked about this?
Well, I liked the romance with the boy and the girl. At the end, it was a really cool ending, too.
Okay. This would be a good book because it's written by a Christian author. Totally clean. It's hard to find books that have the romance aspect that isn't taken too far. And it's also got that fantasy. So if you have a fantasy lover that also likes the romance and probably likes maybe the female being the protector, this would be really good. And I know that this is book 1 of either 3 or 4. I think she at least has 3 in this series. So we've only read 1, but we're excited to be reading book 2 and 3. So this is really good. So I'll link this below too. The next one that is one of her favorites is The Remarkables by
Margaret Peterson Haddix.
Okay, so this one, The Remarkables, this is one of your favorites. Why is this a good one?
So it's a mystery. It kind of is fantasy.
You've read this like multiple times, right?
Yeah.
So this is just a good mystery book for, is it younger age?
I mean,
early teens, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe early teens. But this is a really good book.
And it's completely clean. It's not Christian, but it is completely clean.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's another one that I don't think she has not read yet, but me and my middle daughter read. This is Out of My Mind by Sharon M. Draper. This book is so good. This is one that I talked about this in one of my videos before. Just like everybody needs to read this. Adults all the way down to 11 and up, maybe, just because it is kind of heavy content. Not bad at all, but it just follows this girl who's in a wheelchair. She can't walk, she can't speak, she goes to regular school, and it just goes through her life and kind of puts you in her head and see like what these are real people, that some people treated her like she wasn't a real person. It's really good. Love it. It was sad but super good just to see her progression. And they've got another book too, which is Out of My Heart. I haven't read that yet, but my other daughter read it and loved it. Here's book 2, Out of My Heart. My other daughter read this one and loved it, and I'm going to be reading this one next. It's super good. My younger kids have loved this Dead Sea Squirrels, The Dead Sea Squirrels by Mike Narwoki, and he is actually the creator of VeggieTales, and they have a big series. What do they have, like 7? I think.
Yeah.
I think there's 7 or 8. There might even be more. But it's just a real funny book, Christian book. It's got like pictures throughout. But my girls have loved these. They read them. They're pretty easy reads for them. But it's a really good, like, I would say ages, I don't know, 8 to 12 or something like that. But they were really fun. They love these books. So what's the next one that you love?
So the next one is The Delusion by Gallier. And this one is like a bunch of different genres. It's like fantasy, mystery, and spiritual warfare. So it's about a kid that can like see demons, and this one was like very intense, but like I loved this one. It was really
What
good.
age do you think this would be good for then? Like because of the
I would say
spiritual
like
warfare.
higher than 13-ish.
Okay.
Maybe.
So maybe 13 and up or something?
Yeah, because it was very descriptive of what he sees, so I think that
which could
geared
be
toward older kids.
could be creepy to some people. Okay.
But this is also Christian.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what I was gonna say.
So it's very clean and good.
Okay. She has read this multiple times, right?
Yes. And it's a series actually of 3.
Yeah. Have you read the second one yet? She just read the first one like a million times.
Yeah.
Okay. Another series that I love, this would be a good one for moms. If you have a friend that likes to read, I would love to receive books from my friends. But this book started off my love for reading, and it is the Yada Yada Prayer Group. They have a whole series. I could find 4. And they're not, I've been collecting them. I see them at the thrift store a lot. So check your thrift stores for these. But this is just a fun Christian book about this group of ladies and like real life stuff. And I really feel like when I read it, it made me challenge myself to grow spiritually because it has a lot of spiritual elements in it. Really, really good. I love it. But I would say this would be good for a friend, for your sister-in-law, somebody like that. That would be awesome to give those. The next one is a major love from all of my girls. This is the Whatever After series. I don't know if you guys have ever read this, but they listen to this all the time at bedtime.
Yeah, every single night.
It's a good one to fall asleep to, I guess, and it is good for everybody. You enjoy it, even down to my 9-year-old. So the girls have all read them multiple times, and they listen to them too. But it's this whole series, and they're all like
fairy tales.
Fairy tales, retelling. Okay.
Like it's about this girl and her brother that go into a magic mirror that takes them to fairy tales. So yeah.
So they're based on like If the Shoe Fits. So what's that? Cinderella. What's this one? Sink or Swim is
Ariel.
So they're all, what is that? Hansel and Gretel?
Yeah.
Anyway, they're all different fairy tales. And anyway, it's really cute.
Yeah.
So when this one came out, this is the most recent, Just Dance, they were like, my other two were like, we've got to get that. So we were excited when our library got it. So we own all of these except for the one that they just checked out from the library. We're going to go back to 13 and up and Mom, Dad. This is one of my favorite authors also, which is Brandon Collins. This one, and I don't think you've read this either, but she would love it. I think when I was reading it, I was like, oh, I don't know if it's too much for her. It starts out with her, this one, Violet Dawn, starts out with her finding a dead body in her hot tub. And at the time, at our old house, we had a hot tub. And it was kind of creepy. I did enjoy it, but it was kind of creepy to like go out in the hot tub and be like, I hope I don't find a dead body in here. Edge of your seat, really good. So anyway, this is a whole series. I think it's a series of 4, and I have 3 of them. So I'm still missing one, but I've gotten these at library book sales. So this would be good for probably 13 and up because of, the like murder and, dead body, finding that in your hot tub kind of could creep out little kids. But that's a really good series. Love it. Okay, so this is one, I know I have a lot of girls and my son isn't reading chapter books yet, so I don't have a lot of boy stuff. Wally McDougall, my middle daughter loves these and says they're hilarious. And these are Christian, they're written by a Christian author. The guy who wrote McGee and Me, I didn't know that. Do you guys remember McGee and Me?
Oh, yeah.
I loved McGee and Me. We used to have a game and I used to watch it all the time. Anyway, it's like, these are really silly, like dumb books. In my opinion, My Life as a Splattered Flat Quarterback, and this one is My Life as a Belching Baboon with Bad Breath. So you know that these will work for boys or girls with a really good sense of humor. Okay, this is another one. This is an older book that she loves, or like it was written a long time ago. We got it at the library. Yeah. But she has a whole series, right?
Yes, it's a very big series.
It's
a Christian, like, it's not even romance. It's just like about a girl.
It's just teen fiction. It says youth interest in teen fiction. But Christy Miller, I think a lot of people, I have never heard of this before. She read it. But a lot of people my age have said like, oh, I loved Christy Miller when I was younger. Yeah. So this is one that has like, it's a collection. So it's got like three books in one. But she has a ton. Like our library has a bunch too. So this would be good if you just have a teen that just wants some fun like fiction reads. I think this would be good.
Yes.
This is another one, and this was actually sent to us by Crossway Books and the Dreamkeeper saga for us to check out. And what did you think about it?
I actually really loved it.
Yeah.
It was a very like just adventurous story. And
was it fantasy? Because it's like dragons and stuff.
She goes on this adventure with a dragon. It was just very like fun. Yeah. And I think I read it in a whole entire night.
Yeah, she read it really, really fast. So she loved that. And this is so pretty. I love books like this. See the cover. Anyway, this was really good. And it's Crossway's a Christian publishing company. So this was good. I don't know if there's more in the series or not. I'm not really sure.
Well, I think it says book 1.
Oh, then there probably is more. But that would be a really good one if you have a fantasy lover, someone who likes dragons, adventure, things like that. That was really fun. Okay, another good Christian one, and this is one that we got in the height of 2020 with all that, nonsense when we were stuck in our house for a little while. I ordered some books on Thrift Books, and this is where I discovered The Ark, The Reed, and The Fire Cloud. And then this one is The Dreamer, The Schemer, and The Robe. And this is a Christian, like, fictional story about these animals that lived through these Bible times. So like this one is the Ark, and then this one is Joseph and all his adventures in Egypt. But it follows this little dog and a cat, I think. Yeah, Max and Liz. My middle daughter loved these books. She devoured them, so she was really excited when we found this one at the thrift store. This one we paid a little more on Thrift Books, but these were really good Christian books, and they're pretty fat. But if you have, I think this would be good for boys or girls, and real pretty too. It's always fun to find a book that has a pretty cover, so those would be good Christmas gifts. So this is one you've read recently, right?
Yes, I finished it Monday night.
Yes, and you
loved it. Yes, it was so amazing. It's a Christian romance, and it's about like a royal prince that meets an ordinary girl and they fall in love, and it's like so cute. I loved it. And it's actually a series of like 5. Okay. And one is like an tagalon something. Oh, like an add-on to the series. Yeah. I don't know what those are called, but yeah,
That was she
so
she
good.
was like so excited when she read this.
Yeah.
And again, so this would be so good for a teen. If you have anyone, 13 to whatever, or even a mom, But the whole like, Prince meeting the ordinary girl, what we all dream about, but totally clean.
Yes.
Like a romance, but
Yeah.
nothing inappropriate. So this is by, can you guys see?
Rachel Hawk.
Rachel Hawk. Hawk?
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 I said Hawk.
Okay, Rachel Hawk. I don't know. That would be a really and it's so pretty.
Yeah.
We're
Book cover.
yeah, we love pretty book covers. So this other series that all my girls have loved is is it called the Glass Castle series? The 13 series is what it's called.
Yeah.
So we got book 1 is the Glass Castle. What's this one?
The Ruby Moon and the Paper Boat.
Okay. So what kind of book is this?
It's like a fantasy because it's set like with like she's in a castle and stuff like that.
Okay.
And it's like also an adventure / mystery.
Okay.
But it's really good for any age.
Okay.
Yeah, I loved this one.
And you read it. I think this is another one
Many
you've read
times.
multiple times.
Yeah.
So that's why we're sharing these. That would be great gifts because it's something you'd want on your shelf that your kid or you or whatever will read over and over and over again.
And
so I love these.
it's by Jerry B. Jenkins.
Oh yeah.
Which wrote like Left Behind and all those.
So it's by Trisha White Priebe and Jerry B. Jenkins. So yeah, she loved those. Okay, the next one I will put one up here and then I own the second one. But the first one was The War That Saved My Life. And this one is The War I Finally Won. And it's by Kimberly Brubaker Bradley. And this was so good. This was another one of those books that I would recommend for any kid, probably like maybe 11 and up, depending on their maturity. Because it does, the first book, I haven't read this one yet. I was so excited. I just got this one recently. But I read the first one. This was so good. It was just one of those that like the girl had a really hard life. But it kind of it ends up being really good in the end. And then I'm so excited to read book 2 to see what comes from it. But it's a historical fiction and just it was good. It was one of those like life-changing books. Like after I read it, I was like, it made me want to cry. I remember cutting the grass and I was cutting the grass at our inn while I was listening to it and trying not to cry because there were parts that were really hard. But it was good, really, really good. I want my girls to read it because they haven't read it yet. Actually, Liliana read one, right? I think Liliana read the War That Saved My Life. But anyway, super good. These would be great to have on your shelf. Give these to a homeschool mom. Give these to, your friends, your neighbors. These are really good.
Neighbors.
Give it to everybody. Yeah. Okay, so one other one I'll put right here that you love. Actually, we both love this author.
Yes.
Colleen Coble. And the one you just read was?
A Stranger's Game. It was amazing.
Yeah?
I loved it.
I have not read that one yet.
Mm-hmm.
Really good?
Yes.
Murder mystery?
Yes, it was very suspenseful, and I just loved the characters. Like, the characters were so good.
Awesome.
And it had, like, a little bit of romance, and it was just perfect. I loved it.
Good. Yeah, Colleen Coble is really good. She's up there with, Lynette Eason, Colleen Coble, and Terri Blackstock are definitely the faves when it comes to murder mystery books. Okay, the last 2 I have are nonfiction that I just thought I would throw in here because I think they'd be really good gifts. If you have a friend who is a new parent, Night Lights for Kids by Shirley and James Dobson. So good. We actually were given Night Lights for couples when we first got married, and we used to read this. It's just a quick little like 1-page devotional that we'd read together. It was a really good start to our marriage. And then we got Night Lights for Parents, which it's just a good little devotional for the parents to read together and just encourage you as parents. Really, really good. I love these. I would give these as a gift. We've actually given the Night Lights for couples to friends before as gifts. So this would be a really good gift, and it's a nice, pretty hardback book. So these would be great. If this would be great to give to anybody who's married or going to be getting married. This would be a really good gift, Love and Respect. We actually have the book, and they have a workbook too if you want to do it. We did it as a Bible study one time with a group where my husband and I led the Bible study, and this was really good. Just, super good book that you need to read to have a good, strong marriage. Love this, Love and Respect by Dr. Emerson Eggerichs. But it's really good. Definitely would highly recommend giving that to anybody that is married or going to be married. So that's pretty much it. Those were just the ones that we thought would be really good gifts. I love getting books for gifts, don't you?
Yeah.
I always try. I know the thing is nowadays, a lot of times when people are trying to do like smaller Christmases, which we talked about, a big Christmas on a small budget. So it's something to wear, something to read, something you want, and something you need. I might have said it in a different order, but that's what it is. So something you read. You know, if you're looking for a good book for something to read, I feel like we gave you guys a pretty good span. I also have a video that I will link above that I talked about all of our favorite books, and I went through all the children's books. So if you want some good, like, fun books for little kids too, I have a lot more of them in that video. Anyway, that's what we have read lately. They have a couple more books that we've read that didn't make the it should be a gift list, you know. But we'll be if you guys like this kind of video, give us a thumbs up so that we know to keep doing this. It's been a while, but I do like sharing what we've read because we're both big book readers, right?
Yeah.
What is your favorite book? Let us know what book you would give to somebody and what book we should read. Either of us. We would love to have your suggestions. So thanks so much for being here. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not yet subscribed so you don't miss out on any of our videos. And we will see you guys next time. Bye.